Chapter 14. The School for Sympathy. I had heard a great deal about Miss Beam's school, but not till last week did the chance come to visit it. When I arrived at the school, there was no one inside except a girl of about 12, with her eyes covered with a bandage. She was being led carefully between the flower beds by a little boy, not more than 8 years old. She stopped and asked who it was that had come in, and he seemed to be describing me to her. Then they passed on. Miss Beam was all that I had expected, middle-aged, kindly and understanding. We chatted for a little while, and then I asked her some questions as to her teaching methods, which I had heard were simple. No more than is needed to help them to learn how to do things, and those only of the simplest spelling, adding, subtracting, multiplying and writing. The rest is done by reading to them and by interesting talks, during which they have to sit still and keep their hands quiet. There are practically no other lessons. I have heard so much, I said, about the originality of your system. Miss Beam smiled. Yes, she said. I'm coming to that. The real aim of this school is not to teach thought, but thoughtfulness, humanity, kindness and citizenship. That is the ideal I have always had, and happily there are parents good enough to trust me to try and put it into practice. Look out of the window a minute, will you? I went to the window, which overlooked a large garden and playground at the back. What do you see? Miss Beam asked. I see some very beautiful grounds, I said, and a lot of jolly children. But what perplexes me and pains me too is to notice that they are not all as healthy and active as I should wish. As I came in, I saw one poor little thing being led about owing to some trouble with her eyes, and now I can see two more in the same plight, while there is a girl with a crutch just under the window watching the others at play. Miss Beam laughed. Oh no, she said. She is not lame. Really, this is only her lame day. Nor are those others blind. It is only their blind day. I must have looked very much astonished, for she laughed again. There you have an essential part of our system in a nutshell. In order to get these young minds to appreciate and understand misfortune, we make them participants in misfortune too. In the course of the term, every child has one blind day, one lame day, one deaf day, one maimed day and one dumb day. During the blind day, their eyes are bandaged absolutely, and it is a point of honor not to peep. The bandage is put on overnight and they wake up blind. This means that they need assistance in everything, and other children are told to help them and lead them about. It is educative to both of them, the blind and the helpers. Everyone is very kind, Miss Beam continued. And it is really something of a joke, although, of course, before the day is over, the reality of the disability becomes clear even to the least thoughtful. The blind day is, of course, really the worst, she went on. But some of the children tell me that the dumb day is the most dreaded. There, of course, the child must exercise willpower only. For the mouth is not bandaged, but come down into the garden and see for yourself how the children like it. Miss Beam led me to one of the bandaged girls, a happy little thing. Here's a gentleman come to talk to you, said Miss Beam, and left us. Don't you ever peep? I asked, by way of an opening. Oh no, she exclaimed. That would be cheating, but I'd no idea it was so awful to be blind. You can't see a thing. One feels one is going to be hit by something every moment. Sitting down is such a relief. Are your helpers kind to you? I asked. Pretty good. Not so careful as I shall be when it's my turn. Those that have been blind already are the best. It's perfectly ghastly not to see. I wish you try. Shall I lead you anywhere? I asked. Oh yes, she said. Let's go for a little walk. Only you must tell me about things.
Being blind is so frightening. My head aches all the time just from worrying that I'll get hurt. Where are we now?
In the playground, I said. We are walking towards the house. Miss Beam is walking up and down the terrace with a tall girl.
What is the girl wearing?
My little friend asked. A blue cotton skirt and a pink blouse?
I think it's Millie,
she said.
What color is her hair?
Very light, I said.
Yes, that's Millie. She's the head girl. She's very decent.
There's an old man tying up roses, I said.
Yes, that's Peter. He's the gardener. He's hundreds of years old.
And so we walked on. Gradually, I discovered that I was 10 times more thoughtful than I ever thought I could be. I also realized that if I had to describe things to someone else, it made them more interesting to me. I told Miss Bean that I was very sorry to go. Ah, she replied, then there is something to my system.